Hello guys, this tutorial will cover arrays in Java. So let's first of all create our project. I am using NetBeans as my development environment. NetBeans is really a cool development environment. So let's get to work. So go to File to create a new project. Go to File, New Project, then go to Java Application, then click Next. Now let's give our project a name. We're working on array, so let's give it array as the name. I have already created a folder on my desktop where I'm gonna store this. So you can create a folder or a desktop and get it stored on that folder. So I created a folder called Data Structures and Algorithms on my desktop, as you can see. So here we're gonna be working on just one class. There's no need to unclick that. So let's have it clicked and then click on Finish. Then let's zoom. I'm going to be using this application, this Zoom plugin. I will make a video on that, on how to get that plugin to get it zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing clearly. Then let's get rid of all these ones. Then let's start coding. So what then is an array? An array is regarded as a data structure consisting of a collection of elements, and these elements could be array of integers, it could be array of strings, and each element in this array is identified by at least one array index. So we use indexing in order to manipulate the elements on the array. So an array is stored such that the position of each element can be computed from its index. So let's create an array of class marks, for example, array of integers. So let's start with int. That's how we create array int, together with the symbol, and this symbol represents array. It shows that we are working on array of integers, and give our array a name, which is class marks, and then give it a size is equal to new. We use new to create the size of our array. New int size, and again the same symbol, size. Let's say size 4. Don't forget the semicolon. So now we have created an array of size 4. Remember, we use indexing to manipulate or to identify each of the elements we have on our array. So let's get to that. And so we have a class marks at index. Indexing, as we know, starts from 0. So class marks at index 0 should be, let's give it 80, or let's give it 70. Then class marks 70. Class marks at index 1, give it 80. Then class marks at index 2 let's give it 90. Class marks at index 3. Let's give it 100. Remember, the size of our array is 4. That means we should have 4 different marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know the reason why we have 3 here, because indexing starts from 0. So that is why we have 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 elements, 4 different marks. So let's format this so that it will look okay. Go to source and click on format. So it's formatted. So now we can use indexing, or we can use, let's say, if we want to get the value, this value printed, or if you want to use this value and do whatever we want to do with it. Let's say okay, let me use let's print the value out first. So to print the value out, let's use the shortcut called SOUT, SOUT, and then tab. Click on the tab button on your keyboard. Tab. Click on tab, then it will system.out.println will come up. So let's get the value of 80. To get the value of 80, you just need to type class marks one. That will give you the value of 80. Let's run let's run. So you can see we got 80. So you can do whatever you like with this. Let's say can we do something like this? Let me see what we have on times 2. Okay, so you can see times 2 will give you 160. So you can do whatever you want to do with the elements by making use of their index. You can access them using their index. So what if we want to print all these values out? That is where we're going to use the for loop to get that done. So to get that done, let's use for loop. Then for loop, then int, let me write it out before I explain. Int I, you can use any letter here, but by convention we use I. So int I is equal to 0, then semicolon, then I is less than class marks dot length. Then I plus plus. I plus plus. So let's use the shortcut again. Remember, SOUT, then click on the tab on your keyboard, tab button, tab. Then let's print class marks. I. So when we run this, we get everything printed. 70, 80, 90, 100. You can see 70, 80, 90, 100. So how did we do that? What is going on here? So for this for loop, this I represents the index. So integer I we set the index, that is the start. We set it once, and that is the start of the loop. We say, okay, let the loop start from index 0. Say the loop will start from index 0, this index 0, and then it will stop at the length, at class marks.length. What is the length of this array? The length is 4. It will stop when I is less than the length. That is when it will stop. Then what happens with this I++ and this? So first of all, when we set our index, or when we set our end I to 0, that is this 0, what will happen? It will print the element at index 0. That means class marks I. This I now is 0, right? And the index, the element at index 0 is 70. It will print 70. After printing 70, it will now, this I++ will increase our I by 1. Then I will no longer be 0 now. It will now be 1. And that 1 now represents index 1. And this index 1 is less than 4, which is the length of this array. 4 is the length of this array. And I, which is 1 now, is less than the index. It will still print. Then I here now will become 1. This statement, this will print the value at index 1, which is 80. Then after printing that, it will increase our I. This I++ will increase our I by 1. In that case, I will no longer be 1. It will now be 2. So that means index 2. And that 2 is less than 2, which is the length of our array. And what will happen here? Here, I will be 2. And this will print the value of the element at index 2, which is 90. After printing 90, I++ will increase the I now by 1 again. It will no longer be 2. It will now be 3. And this 3, I now is 3, and 3 is less than the length, which is 4 of our array. Then this will print 3, because I is now 3. And 3, it will print the value at index 3, which is 100. That's why we have this. So in the next video, I will explain more on this array, more ways we can create array. If you like my video, please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and God bless.